Ballet stretch series back. This is an intro exercise and we do 3 reps. The goal of this exercise is to open the front of the hip to really stretch the entire anterior chain to improve alignment of the legs and the spine. This is good for students who are really ready to challenge their hip and spinal flexibility and extension. Let's take a look at the setup. The student comes into the barrel. Normally they would have done all the ballet stretch series and this would be the ending, but we'll pretend they're just going to do this one today. They bring the foot up, they slide the leg back, and they pull into the barrel. No, just stay here, stay up, and bring your hips forward. So she wants to get anchored into this top rung. So there's our setup. The leg is long, the base leg is lifted, and this hip is encouraging itself to go down while this leg stays in the center line. To initiate the exercise, the head nods and she curls and stretches forward. Her hands are helping her and she lifts her leg up. Now holding the leg up, she returns up in extension, lifting the chest and opening, and then stretches out and over again and comes up. And go ahead, bend this knee and take a rest, Catherine. The student will do that 3 times. That is a tough challenge, and you have a lot of students who won't be able to do this. And you'll have students who will, and students who enjoy it, students who love you for teaching it, while hating you at the same time. When the student is working on this, precision points, make sure they don't just drop out over the barrel and hang. So they've got to really stay active and working to stay square here. Also watch that the leg in the back stays in the center line. It'll tend to wander out as a student faces the tightness at the front of the hip here. As they come up, encourage them to be square in their box and make sure that the extension here comes out of the thoracics and they're not just thrusting through the low back toward the ladder barrel. Keep this one moving. Go ahead and bend the knee so that it has some life. It'll help the student if you keep it flowing and moving on the breath. Things that can go wrong here. We can have the base leg hyperextended. You can have the foot on the bottom rotating. You'll even have the heel lift and the ankle fall in. Students dropping back in extension or really over-recruiting the arms to do the movement rather than having it come out of the spine. So let's look at this in real time. Leg up, lift tall, belly deep, and stretch out and over. Lift the leg and come up, keep the leg lifted, and then stretch out and over. Lengthen the spine, pull the hip down and sink the sits bones. Find your 3 anchors, pull the sits bones together, lift. That's part 1. Now part 2, she slides back and pulls this hip forward 3 times. So pull forward, slide, encourage the hip forward, slide, and again, encouraging the hip forward. Then she slides back, the student bends their knee and reaches the opposite hand back for a stretch. And this is a really big stretch here for the hip. They then let go, take their hands, parallel this back leg, and they lift up through the chest as they bring their foot and head together. Extend back out. And then to complete the exercise, the student lifts the leg into passe, lifts their arms, and if they're capable, they releve up and challenge their balance even more fully before they return and begin the entire series again, or move to the other leg. Spots on this. You've got to be careful. You never want to force a student into extension. And so you notice as Catherine was up, I'm really guiding the pelvis. I'm not having a heavy hand on this. I'm giving it a light guide around. I'm guiding this leg into the center line. And of course, I'm really guiding that movement as she comes up to touch the head. We won't make her do that again just yet. So very dynamic, very flowing, very easy touch. I'm just encouraging the placement of the body and helping her stay square. With this, building blocks are so important. A sign of readiness for this would be that the student's really doing almost all the other extension exercises and has sufficient flexibility of the anterior hip in particular. A building block that you'll normally start with would be simply to bend the knee, place the foot up. You want to make sure on the building block, this is just a quad stretch, that this knee is hanging down heavily, this hip is released, and the knee is behind the base leg. She can then move backwards, bringing the tail under, drawing the abs up, and this is a really good quad stretch for just about any student. So that's step one. Other things you can do for building blocks, because we don't want to never encourage a student forward. We're always finding a way to help them go forward. I might have her stand up on a rung here. So I might have her lift in releve or stand on a rung so that as she go ahead and straighten your leg now, so that she's got a little more accessibility in the hips. When you're introducing this to students, introduce just the back and forth slide. That's step one. When they can do the back and forth slide pretty well, then we can add the going over the front, lifting the leg, and coming back up. Once they can do that, then they're ready to reach around with the opposite hand and take this stretch. And once they can do that, then we'll guide them into the parallel, bent knee, touch the head and knee together, stretch. One step at a time. Go ahead and come to passe, Catherine, and step down.